So do we still give him the benefits of the doubt? Like, I don't want to know. Like, it's like, where are we at right now? Are we still giving him the benefits of the doubt? Because you know what? I love actually seeing people's responses to this whole stuff. So where we are right now is people who work for Man United, reported to work for Man United, have said that he refused to come on. And United have released an official statement saying, because obviously they can't go into details, they've released an official statement saying he's not going to be part of the squad. He's been dropped from the squad. So 1+1 equals 2. I don't know, maybe it's 3 or 4, but I think from the math that I know, shout out to Miss Smallwood, 1+1 equals 2, which means that most likely he refused to come on. You see, my thing here is player worship is very, very unhealthy. Worship, blind worship, is unhealthy. And I think what I see from people is, from especially Ronaldo fanboys, is you almost feel like if you have a duty to defend. See, there are guys who Ronaldo's like their favorite player and they admire him, but they don't blindly worship him. And the guys just blindly worship him, where no matter what, I have to always defend him because there must be need to always to defend him. And I'm like, you know that you can appreciate a guy, you can be a fan of a guy, but still call them out. My guy, Ronaldo. Bro, no one loves Ronaldo more than me, man. But Ronaldo, if I see him, beyond just saying, oh, you're amazing and everything, I'll say, you owe me £5. Because I bet that he would be top scorer in the 2006 World Cup, and he turned up overweight. And I was like, bro, that's unacceptable. That is ridiculous. So you can still call out your idols. But this, for me, what I'm not about, because you guys, you know me. I'm the guy that ruptures everything. I'm the guy that says the statements that people don't like. I'm the guy that ruffles the feathers. So I'm not on for everything is good, all positive, all horror and everything. I'm about that real. And the dots connect. We've seen the Instagram posts. We've seen what he does on social media. We've seen these things. Is it shocking to believe that because it was the 88th, 89th minute and he felt that it would be insulting of him to be brought on, he simply refused? Because he's like, you know what, he feels disrespected. That's the key thing. He feels disrespected. There's no disrespect here. But he feels disrespected because again, as I said in my video yesterday, it is what it is. Nobody wanted you. See, people, let's stop this narrative now of like, oh my gosh, he wanted to leave, but United didn't allow him to leave. Wait, if someone came with a proper offer, then they'd allow him to go. No one even came with an offer from Chelsea or Bayern or freaking PSG or nobody, because people were like, we respect what you've done. You've done some amazing legendary things in the game, but we don't want a freaking 37-year-old for our team, because for what we want for our project, there is no space for a 37-year-old in our team, no matter what he's done in the past. And this whole thing of you're disrespecting what he's done and everything he's given them, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? You see, it's karma. For Cristiano, what is happening right now is karma, in the way that he left Juventus, left them, pretty much left them hanging, drying, and so forth. And this assumption that you'd come to United and then, this would be the big thing, you'd be the main man and so forth. It's karma that is coming back to now haunt you now because, in life, not just football, in life, just never assume. The assumption was, hey, I come back to United and I bring United back up to glory and it's a beautiful, happy homecoming. As we've seen before, on numerous times, that whole fairy tale homecoming doesn't really always play itself out in that way. Ten Hag, beautiful. For what he's done, it's true, because I think, and that's why if you're Ten Hag, you have to keep this guy as far away from the squad as possible. You have to keep him as far away from the squad as possible. And you just have to ostracize him. And then when January comes, because right now, because see, if you're Ten Hag, this guy isn't part of my squad until the World Cup break. And then come January, sell him. And I think from what I'm now reading, they're saying, bro, no, we're just going to release Homeboy. Because the key thing is, nobody wants him. That's what nobody... If you're a top-tier team, There is no need for a 37-year-old because this is not just about our branding and business stuff. You see, the only team I thought I would get in was PSG for the branding. Yes, he's going to bring in the goals and score goals, but wow, we have Ronaldo and Messi in our team. Boom. So I think come January, I think if he's now available for a free, so all they have to do is just do the wage without actually a transfer fee. Maybe PSG go in for him. But if you're a Chelsea, if you're a Bayern and you're actually building a particular kind of a product, specifically with young players and peak players, there is no space for a 37-year-old who you'll have to play. Because here's the thing. Maybe a Bayern and Chelsea will consider having him if you're happy to be in rotation or be used as a sub. But if you're 37, going on to 38, and you now have to play in every game, no, man, nah. Because remember, I think he's 38 in February. I think he's 38 in February, so he's now going on to be 38. So come on, man. But yeah, it's interesting how this is all played out, man. And look, man, how for Ronaldo, man, you're 37 years old, which means that you're old enough to live by your decisions. Because we're having this discussion about Mbappe. Early 20s, yeah, I say you're a young adult. Yeah, you're grown, but you're a young adult. At 37 years old, you make a decision, you have to live by a decision and the reality. You decided to come to United for a certain amount of time. Now you want to leave early. You were not able to leave early, not by United, to be clear, United did not block him from going. Nobody wanted him. So you see, let's just be focusing, let's not be confused by narratives. Nobody wanted it because we all joked during the summer about how many people were rejecting him, saying that, no, we didn't want him, no, we didn't want him, no, we didn't want him. Nobody wanted him. Okay, nobody wanted him. And if people wanted him, i.e. whether it was a Chelsea or a PSG, it was for pure marketing purposes, branding purposes. You see, because for me, if you're Ten Hag, he doesn't play ever again for Man United. Because the same thing happened with Tevez and Mancini. I can't remember how that was resolved, where Tevez refused to come on. There is nothing more insulting or disrespectful of a player. Because, bro, I can't think of anything much more disgraceful or embarrassing for a manager where a player refuses to come on. And you see, that's why guys have to understand this thing. Forget about what you've done in your past. Forget about your legacy and so forth. We are dealing in the now and the tomorrow. All that matters in football is maybe the yesterday or the few days ago, but it's the today and it's for the tomorrow. And you have to just accept what the situation is, and you have to just accept the reality of the situation, bro. So for me, it's like, again, if you're Ten Hag, I say, bro, you ain't playing, bro. You ain't playing until we ship your ass out in freaking January, and then. Now it's no longer a concern. Now just decide whoever Jorge Mendes wants to get free, because I do feel like if I'm United, cut your losses, because the team doesn't need this, and I think the key thing is the team has shown that they don't need him. They are playing well without him. They're scoring goals without him, and they're functioning well without him. So if you're United, you have to support Ten Hag. You see, if United, it makes no sense to put your faith in a 37-year-old who's going to be 38. As opposed to a manager you've just had. Because remember, you have to think 4, 5, 6, 7 years into the future. Cristiano ain't going to give you 5, 6 years. But if you're a proper club, you have to think about 5, 6 years into the future. So you have to build for that future. So if you're United, you cut your losses of Cristiano. Look, go do your thing. Thank you for your services. You've been a legend for United, but now go and do your thing, and now focus on what Ten Hag is doing with this current couple of players. But that's just the key thing there. The worship. People's blind worship of either a figurehead, an organization, an institution, or a human being. He's just a human being. Okay? He bleeds like everyone. He takes a crap like anyone. He pisses like everyone. And I just think that, and I know I want to get through to people out there, but you should really think about whether it is truly unhealthy having this blind obsession with a player and coming up with excuses to defend him, even though you know objectively said player is in the wrong. Head over there to subscribe to that whole thing, man, and I'll see you on the other one.